everyone, I'm Dr. Tia Kim. This week, our topic is expressing gratitude and how that can help us focus on the positives in life and improve our well-being. Dr. Kaylin Curry is joining me today to talk about the benefits of practicing gratitude. Dr. Kaylin is a developmental psychologist and a colleague of mine at Committee for Children. So welcome, Dr. Kaylin. Excited to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
So could you just describe a little bit about what practicing gratitude may look like, and in particular, why it's so important for our mental health and well-being?
Well, honestly, Tia, one of the best things about gratitude is that it's not something that's overly complicated or time-consuming. Research shows us that just 5 minutes of gratitude practice can increase our experience of positive emotions. Just taking the time to focus on these things that we're grateful for, even if it's not every day, even if it's in small doses, actually has a lot of power to increase our feelings of happiness and life satisfaction. They decrease depression and decrease our stress. They support our social relationships, so our connections with other people. And they also support our physical health, especially sleep. So for those of us that have a bit of the winter blues, gratitude is really a wonderful way to get a lot of support by putting in a pretty small amount of effort.
I think that's great advice. I'm going to actually take some of those strategies and use them myself. So your work really focuses on kids and their mental well-being. What are some tips that you might provide for families to get their kids to really understand the importance of gratitude and how they can express it? And would those tips be different, for instance, if they had younger kids versus older kids?
Well, first off, I would just say that gratitude is for all ages. Being able to learn how to recognize and acknowledge those gifts and those good things that are happening is a skill that can be developed with practice and effort, just like any other academic or social emotional skill. So I say start young. To that end, I think I would talk about approaching gratitude with kind of a what, why, how framework. So start by explaining to kids, what is gratitude? It's seeing the good things. It's noticing the kind things that people do for you. When you think about explaining why, we can talk to kids about, hey, when we think about the good things, we feel good. We feel excited. We feel lucky. We feel happy. And that always feels good. And in terms of how, I would just say jump in and say, let's practice right now. What's the best thing that happened to you today? What made you feel really good? Really just explaining to them what it is, why it matters, and how to do it, I think is a really great way to approach it. And if you're talking to adolescents, you would use the same framework, just maybe make it a little more technical so they can better understand, that there's research saying that this really is important for their social, emotional, and physical well-being.
I really like that what, why, how framework. I know we talk about it a lot in a lot of our work, so I think that's a great way to think about how to express gratitude. So lastly, what do you think are some strategies that you could share with families that would get them to really be able to have their families express gratitude and have that practice in their daily life?
That's a great question. I would say that, when kids are little, I really focus on verbal things. So with my younger nieces, whether we're in the car, whether at the dinner table, I always try to make a point of asking, so what was the best thing that happened to you today? What are you looking forward to? What was something kind that someone did for you? Again, anything that just gets them to think for a moment and focus on that goodness, those gifts that they're receiving. For older kids who have literacy skills, writing can be really effective. So gratitude journals. I have something with my older niece where we have a little gratitude jar and we write down things we're grateful for and then put it in the jar. And then if you're feeling not so grateful one day, you can kind of pull those out and look at them, and it's a helpful reminder. For adolescents, my only advice would be to be sure that you're not trying to get them to do gratitude when they're really struggling with something, because that might feel like you're minimizing it. Kind of wait until they're calm. And then I think gratitude is a really helpful strategy. But above all that, parental modeling. I know it comes up in a lot of different subjects, but how parents act really influences how their kids behave. So if you're walking around saying, I'm so lucky, I'm so grateful for, I'm so thankful for, your kids are going to pick up on that. And it's going to really help create that climate and culture of thankfulness within your family.
That's a great reminder to myself, actually, to be a better role model in terms of expressing gratitude for my own boys. So thanks for that reminder.
No problem.
Do you have questions about expressing gratitude or about how remembering to celebrate small joys can contribute to your well-being? Visit winterwellbeing.org to share those with me. I'll see you next week when we close out the Winter Wellbeing series with some audience questions about self-compassion as a tool to reduce stress. Thank you for watching, and thank you, Dr. Curry, for joining me today.
Thank you for already practicing gratitude.